you. Might sit in it right down there.
What is it?
I don't think you'll see a boat come here for it.
Sam, can't do it if it's saying naughty.
For me.
We'll just kid on the tennis weekend.
That's it. Okay.
Ja. Hier is die dein Wezenlein des Lebens, das ist German.
That's German.
We were here last year,
Aye.
up at that, where is that, Neil?
Colcragan House, it's a Christian
Christian.
establishment.
That's right.
Is it still going?
Uh-huh.
Aye.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aye. Oh,
Aye.
that's great.
I were there last year for a seminar weekend, it was brilliant.
Ah, great.
Aye.
Yeah, you're in one of the churches up there. When you're
What
up there.
church were you with?
It's up at Bearsden.
Bearsden.
Aye,
Glasgow.
there's then,
Oh,
aye.
aye. Aye.
Angus Macaulay.
Aye.
Ah.
Aye. Aye. That's a big Christian centre, isn't it?
That's great up there, it's in Kensington Hall.
Aye.
That's right, I know what it is.
Well, we were
It
in
is.
juries for a wee while there because we did kids.
You said juries, you mean?
Juries in the Pond Hotel.
Aye.
We went in there for a wee while because
Go to Pentecostal church.
yeah,
That's how we knew about cooking.
no having a couple of castings, there, darling.
Yeah, in Dunoon, I seen kids fishing off Dunoon.
I was to meet the pier upstairs.
Aye, I seen them fishing off the pier at Dunoon the other week.
Aye.
We were fishing
No,
off the
aye.
pier at where was we?
Helensburgh.
Aye, Helen's where are the
And there was
kids?
loads of them,
Aye.
all fishing. Tomorrow we'll get fishing. The bus up
Helensburgh. No. Well,
where the caravan park is. Fish there. It's beautiful. We're going to go visit them tomorrow or something.
Are you
Staying
staying
in a
here?
hotel.
Are you staying here yourself,
I'm
time?
just staying at Sunday at the hotel.
Aye. We have an open air there on a Saturday.
Once
Once a
every-
month.
Once every.
We have an open air there on a Saturday once a month.
Once.
You know, in the mall that?
mhm.
You know, never really be smoked.
Once a-
That's a shit.
There's a boat coming. There's a boat that's taking us across. There's a ferry car will take you across.
Aye.
That's a
Is
good
that
way.
what that man was coming in for? That's for that woman in the Wainsbury waiting.
Aye, on the ferry and go
You didn't
across.
see it?
When you get older, you find that somebody else comes behind your back saying, to you, I'm bored, I'm bored.
You meet up with your... Do you remember it was packed to the door?
No, I just...
Eh?
Anyway. These need to put on ship. If this had been banned
On board.
on board the boat, say I'm away for an adventure. Oh, there's a truck, so there's something on the other side. On the other side.
And forevermore
if you follow me with this time.
That's just how you stay.
Oh, sure is. You're coming over playing for New York, music.
I'm unforgettable too.
It's no my
That's why,
problem.
that's why, that's why, that's
It's no my problem. I'm unforgettable too.
I know, I mean, it's all that. It's like, you know, this guy's called T.
It's about a spirit that's come against your house. It's not about you making more money than him.
One day, things had went wrong, and he came right, didn't it again, and then so it started over again, and then they had to start again, back up. So he said, you know what he says? I've been a millionaire, and I've been, sure, been a millionaire. He says, I like best being a millionaire. But it was just buying this film. It just shows you, put time and chance for everything. So you're okay. There's another 50 million 19-year-olds like yourself all struggling along type thing. Just be encouraged. If you think you're, if you think of something, and these days you can walk in and you can ask advice and say, I'm interested in doing this. And you can add anything you can, and I get some. Come on, just take it. People, lots of things to help people these days. And they went to, I watched a television program and it was China, right? So what happened is the university in Nottingham went into China and they bought this building was built in China, right? And so the Chinese, they weren't educated. Those are and it shows you, and they wanted British. And so the British realised this is a big market here in China, the university. So you see the kids, we're walking in, and they've got the boater hat, you know, like you see the old English boater hat, they used to the old English boater hat, they used to have in the university, you see the old fellas, they've got that, they've got jackets, they're all dressed up like this, all kind of get educated. And you know, education, and it doesn't matter how far, but they're learning. And never doing, well, there's always a place, son, because you'll find that even when you've grown up and you're 90, you'll find that Gandalf was right, because it's always like people are there, and that's why that's why we want to doing this.
Thing about myself, keep myself warm during this freezing cold house.
And it's
For them, I'm not interested in it.
leave it in.
I hear it all day. That thing. You want to hear it again?
That's okay.
Somebody last in the school attacked her with scissors. That was the most.
27.
Hmm.
You were 19, that's only 6 or 7 years older than you.
Just work all the way up to the...
And you just work as a cop, right? You look at that working along the street like that. Look at that, just working along. Cops and and they get the cops for good money. The cops get about £26,000, 20,000 a year to start with. 26. That's just to start. That's at the end of the day, it's what your salary is. You know, if your salary is that in a year, and then you go for a job or something, say you went to a job and you say, aye, but I worked and my salary was this size, so we'll say, well, this boy's got something. If you got that salary, you must be good. You know what I mean? And police force is great. Police force, if you could possibly do the police force would be a good job. That would really be a good job, Paul.
It's a nice Christmas plate you've got, Anna. What is it? A plate?
It's a plate. A plate. So
Oh, that's it.
spoon.
Well, that's the
Christmas tree. It's for to put cake on at Christmas time.
Was that not the bit where they had pirates
Oh, I don't know,
and went and attacked a boat?
Pirates?
Aye, pirates. They attacked a liner and tried to, you know, take a liner. They're still pirates, and they got out that way. Look at the sea, look here. Look.
Away from Dubai and Abu Musa, across the Gulf, to the Iranian port of Bandar Abbas.
Look at that.
Nobody knew they'd been taken, and nobody knew where they were.
Pirates took them.
Held under armed guard in Iran, negotiations began. But even when the Iranian Foreign Ministry ordered their release, judges intervened, and they were taken off to a secret location in Tehran for yet more questioning. One analyst, though, is not surprised.
The Foreign Ministry was likely diplomatic, and then there are other bodies, you know, like the Revolutionary Guard.
Atlantic standoff. Relations with Iran were already strained, so it was a bad time to be accused of trespassing on Iranian soil. The wisest were lucky. Frank Gardner, BBC News.
The number of prosecutions for racially motivated offences in England and Wales has risen by nearly 30%. The Crown Prosecution Service brought cases against more than 4,500 defendants in the year to April.
I'm not interested in it.
Leave it.
I hear it already. Thing. You want to hear it again?
No, it's okay.
Somebody last in the school attacked her with scissors. That was posted.
27.
Hmm.
You were 19, that's only about 6 or 7 years old, aren't you?
Just work all the way up to the...
And you just work as a cop, right? You look at that working along the street like that. Look at that, just working along. Cops and they get the cops for good money. The cops get about £26,000, 20,000 a year to start with. 26. That's just to start. That's at the end of the day, it's what your salary is. You know, if your salary is that in a year, and then you go for a job or something, say you went to a job and you say, aye, but I worked and my salary was this size, so we'll say, well, this boy's got something. If you got that salary, you must be good. You know what I mean? And police force is great. Police force, if you could possibly do the police force would be a good job. That would really be a good job, Paul.
It's a nice Christmas plate you've got, Anna. What is it? A plate?
It's a plate. A plate. So
Oh, that's it.
spoon.
Well, that's the
Christmas tree. It's for to put cake on at Christmas time.
Was that not the bit where they had pirates
Oh, I don't know,
and went and attacked a boat?
Pirates?
Aye, pirates. They attacked a liner and tried to, you know, take a liner. They're still pirates, and they got out that way. Look at the sea, look here. Look.
Away from Dubai and Abu Musa, across the Gulf, to the Iranian port of Bandar Abbas.
Look at that.
Nobody knew they'd been taken, and nobody knew where they were.
Pirates took them.
Held under armed guard in Iran, negotiations began. But even when the Iranian Foreign Ministry ordered their release, judges intervened, and they were taken off to a secret location in Tehran for yet more questioning. One analyst, though, is not surprised.
The Foreign Ministry was likely diplomatic, and then there are other bodies, you know, like the Revolutionary Guard.
Atlantic standoff. Relations with Iran were already strained, so it was a bad time to be accused of trespassing on Iranian soil. The wisest were lucky. Frank Gardner, BBC News.
The number of prosecutions for racially motivated offences in England and Wales has risen by nearly 30%. The Crown Prosecution Service brought cases against more than 4,500 defendants in the year to April. He said Sir Christopher had undermined the key relationship between civil servants and ministers. There's a warning the new Wembley Stadium may not be completed in time for the FA Cup final.
Steps, there was a policeman. He was young. He had tears.
More than 100 people in a nationwide blackout were left behind the bombings in the capital. This morning, Al-Qaeda issued a statement saying 4 riots carried out the attacks, including Wales police have defended its decision to place a job advert specifically excluding.
An email saying this vacancy is open to non-smoke. That, in fact, of the firm knows.
He said Sir Christopher had undermined the key relationship between civil servants and ministers. There's a warning the new Wembley Stadium may not be completed in time for the FA Cup final in May. Chief Executive Michael Cunner was due to say they were doing to remember those killed in war. Armistice Day was marked in towns and cities across the country, and the few remaining survivors of the First World War honoured lost friends. Nicholas Witcher reports.
Today's research looked at the side effects of sedatives on more than 2,000. May not justify the increased risks. The elderly, psychological treatment may be the safest way to guarantee a long, deep sleep. Ben Gagan, BBC News.
The jury in the murder trial of Sean Jenkins has been hearing evidence from his former wife Lois about the day their daughter died. Jenkins denies battering Billy Joe to death at their house in Hastings in 1997. Well, our correspondent June Kelly is at the Old Bailey now. June?
Well, Darren, Sean and Lois Jenkins divorced after Billy Joe's murder in 1997. Now, Mrs. Jenkins then moved to Tasmania with their 4 other daughters. Now she's flown into the UK with her husband on trial to testify against him. This new trial is now in its 2nd week. In court every day with Sean Jenkins is his 2nd wife, Tina. They married earlier this year. His first wife, Lois, arriving at a back entrance of the Old Bailey. In the witness box, she described how the day of the murder had begun as a normal family Saturday. As well as Billy Joe, the Jenkins had 4 daughters of their own. Mrs. Jenkins was out with the youngest 2 when her husband called her to say something had happened to Billy Joe. She said she quickly returned to the family home at Hastings in East Sussex. In an emotional voice, Lois Jenkins told the court, "As I got to the top of the steps, there was a policeman. He was young. He had tears."
More than 100 people in a nationwide blackout were left behind the bombings in the capital. This morning, Al-Qaeda issued a statement saying 4 riots carried out the attacks, including Wales police have defended its decision to place a job advert specifically excluding.
An email saying this vacancy is open to non-smoke. That, in fact, of the firm no-smoking stance being taken by